You know that the axolotl can regrow an entire limb if it loses one. So if axolotl were ever to lose his arm or leg, all he would need is a little bit of water and 6 months, and he could just grow a new one. You're probably thinking this creature must be some kind of magical mythical beast. But no, it's real, and it's called an axolotl. But that's not all this animal can do. They can regrow other organs too, like their hearts. That's right, who can literally grow a brand new heart if part of its heart gets damaged. How is that even possible? And what else can they do? Well, let's dive in and find out. Here are 9 more crazy facts about the amazing axolotl. Number 1. When you look at an axolotl, you might think it looks like a salamander. And you'd be right because they are both amphibians. And while there are many different kinds of salamanders, the axolotl is the only living member of its genus. It's scientifically known as Ambystoma mechatoma. The name ambystoma comes from the Greek word for both axolotl and salamander. The term ambystoma refers to the amphibian's characteristic of having a large head and a small body. Meanwhile, the term Mexicanom refers to the country of origin, Mexico. Number 2. Axolotls can live up to 10 years in the wild. However, they usually live longer when they're kept in aquariums. In fact, there was one pet axolotl whose lifespan reached the age of 40. Just imagine how many goldfish you could get through in that amount of time. Number 3. An axolotl is referred to as a neotenic salamander. What does that mean? Well, it means that it retains many of its larval characteristics into adulthood. If you didn't know, adult axolotls still have their gills visible on the sides of their heads. These structures are used for breathing underwater. Now most amphibians metamorphose, which is just a fancy way of saying they change during their development. However, the axolotl is one of the few creatures that doesn't go through this process. This is due to a rare genetic mutation. Number 4. If you want to keep an axolotl as a pet, make sure you give them a spacious tank with plenty of clean water. This is because they're very active animals who love to swim around. Also, they tend to be lazy, so you'll often find them floating near the surface of the water, just chilling out. Number 5. While axolotls can be found in lakes and canals, they're most commonly found in the Xochimilco region of Mexico City. In fact, these creatures have been dubbed the Mexican walking fish. Number 6. Axolotls have a total of 31 vertebrae. Number 7. Although axolotls are currently endangered, scientists are hopeful that these fascinating creatures will soon make a comeback. The main reason why they're on the brink of extinction is due to habitat loss. In fact, over the past few decades, the population has decreased by more than 90%. Some of the biggest threats include urban development, water pollution, and the introduction of non-native species into their ecosystem. Luckily, conservation efforts are underway to help protect the axolotl. Number 8. If you see an axolotl swimming in the wild, don't try to touch it. Even though they may look cute, they're actually venomous. The venom is extremely painful and can even cause temporary paralysis. If you're bitten by an axolotl, it's best to soak the wound in cold water for several minutes. Then you should put on sunscreen and wait for the pain to subside. Number 9. Axolotls are carnivorous and will eat just about anything that moves in the wild. Their diet mainly consists of worms, insects, and small fish. But captive axolotls are usually fed a diet of commercial fish food. They'll also eat frozen or live prey, such as bloodworms and brine shrimp. And now for the big question we've all been waiting for. How is it possible that axolotls can regenerate entire limbs? Well, when an axolotl loses a limb, the wound quickly heals over and a new limb begins to grow out of the stump. The amazing thing is that this new limb is exactly the same as the one that was lost. It has the same bones, muscles, nerves, and skin. The process of limb regeneration is controlled by a group of specialized cells known as blastema. These cells are located near the wound and they begin to divide and grow. As they multiply, they form a bud which eventually develops into a new limb. The regeneration process takes several months to complete. The result is truly amazing. In addition to being able to regrow their limbs, axolotls can also regenerate other parts of their bodies, including their spinal cord, brain, and heart. When part of their heart is removed, the remaining pieces simply fuse together to form a single, continuous tube. Then specialized cells migrate to the site of the injury and begin dividing. This creates a mass of cells that eventually develops into new heart tissue. The regeneration process is not perfect, however. Sometimes the new heart tissue doesn't form properly and the axolotl dies. But when it works, it's nothing short of miraculous. Now let's move on to another interesting topic. The evolution of the axolotl has been around for quite some time. In fact, it first appeared on Earth during the late Cretaceous period, approximately 80 million years ago. During this era, the planet was ruled by dinosaurs. Back then, the axolotl looked very different from the one we know today. It was much larger, growing up to 5 feet in length. It also had sharp teeth and claws, making it a fearsome predator. Over the years. However, the axolotl has undergone many changes. It gradually became smaller and more aquatic, developing features such as webbed feet and external gills. These adaptations allowed it to thrive in the water, but they also made it more vulnerable to predators. As a result, the axolotl had to evolve yet again, this time developing the ability to regenerate its limbs and other body parts. This adaptation allowed it to escape the clutches of predators, giving it a chance to survive. Today, the axolotl is still evolving, although the changes are much slower now. Scientists are constantly making new discoveries about this fascinating creature, and it's likely that we'll continue to learn about it for many years to come. The axolotl is truly a remarkable creature, and we're lucky to have them on our planet. Their ability to regenerate their limbs and other body parts is nothing short of miraculous, and their unique appearance and behavior make them a joy to behold. Whether you see them in the wild or in an aquarium, axolotls are sure to amaze and inspire us for generations to come. Do want to forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, so you never miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.